Hey, everybody. It's been a while since I've been with you. It's great to be back. And today we're going to talk about fear. There's no question that fear is something that's arising for a lot of people and can really be difficult to deal with. And today we're going to talk about what we can do to transmute that fear without running away from it. More on that when we come back. And welcome back. This is Dr. John Michael Salvato. You are watching our series on the 6 dimensions of wellness. And if you're watching for the first time, we want to encourage you to go to mentalwellnessmovement.org and join our free online platform, our community of folks who are dedicated to helping create a healthier mind, body, and spirit. It's absolutely free. While you're at it, make sure that you please like and subscribe and share this with folks. We would certainly appreciate that as well. And it's good to be back with you guys, as I said again. And Steve, good morning. It's great to see you here as well. And to everybody who's joining us, if you're joining for the first time, this is part of a program that we've been doing for the last couple years, which is focused on taking a mind shift every single day, looking at one aspect of the 6 dimensions of wellness and finding a way that we can shift our awareness, shift our thinking in order to create movement toward a more positive, more healthy body, mind, and spirit. This is truly the foundation of mental wellness. And not from a perspective of trying to use mental wellness, excuse me, strictly as a means of selling a product or selling a book or selling a video. This is a movement dedicated to people helping people. So let's go ahead and dive in. Fear is an obstacle that we impose upon ourselves. The only power that fear has, however, in our lives is the power that we give it. And we do that when we turn our attention to the fear and we stay there. We get stuck in that fear. Now, I get it. Like I said in the beginning of this program, we are living through some of the most difficult, uncertain, painful, and heart-wrenching times. And it can be frightening. And so I'm not saying that we have to deny our feelings. I'm not saying that we should pretend, like one grifter that I stumbled upon earlier today, that we should pretend that 2020 is amazeballs because we think that it's going to make us appear spiritually advanced or so much more positive or some other nonsense. But I'm saying don't get stuck in the fear. Fear is serves a purpose in our lives, and we're going to talk about that. But as Pema Chodron, the Buddhist monk, once told us, Buddhist nun, wrote in her book, When Things Fall Apart, which, by the way, I highly recommend, especially now for folks who are going through some difficult times and looking for a way of supporting yourself. I highly recommend Pema Chodron's book. I'll go ahead and put a link when we're done in the comments or the about section. but as she says in the book, excuse me, the only way to alleviate our fear and suffering is to move through it, not to try to deny it or avoid it. And that's because when we try to deny or avoid fear or avoid pain, we cause suffering. That is the only way that we suffer, is by trying to avoid pain or trying to avoid fear. And so it's the moving through that I wanted to talk about today. It's that moving through the fear rather than trying to avoid it. You see, just as surely as you choose to acknowledge fear, you can choose to move beyond it. And when you do, you transform the fear into the power of courage. See, fear serves the important purpose of grabbing our attention, of warning us of perceived dangers. Whether those dangers are real or not, that's another topic. But it's an emotion that can heighten our awareness and compel us to be more prepared. And those are good and useful things. So once the fear has done its job, our job is to move forward, is to take action. Now, we know this is true not only on a metaphysical level, but we know it's true because the physiological evidence, the scientific evidence supports that belief. See, fear causes the body to release and elevate certain hormones such as cortisol, and it raises our adrenaline levels, triggering what science calls the fight or flight syndrome, or fight or flight response. And that, my friends, that's the proof that you can rely on when fear arises. You have a choice to stay stuck in fear and become prey, or to draw on the well of courage that exists within you. You see, if you didn't have an organic source of courage in the body, if you didn't have an option to respond to fear, then what would happen is your body wouldn't produce cortisol. It wouldn't produce elevated adrenaline levels. There would be no purpose for that, but it does. And that's because you have the power to fight or to flee to safety. And either one of those takes courage, and either one of those requires that we make a decision to take action, to move through the fear, to transmute the fear and use it as fuel. Now, there's an author, Ralph Marston, who puts it this way, and I love this. He says, admit to being frightened and your courage will grow. Admit to not knowing and you learn. Admit to your weakness and you become stronger, to your mistakes and you'll begin to move past them. Admit that you don't know what to say and you'll have the right words. Admit that you're confused and you'll begin to understand. See, when we begin to admit that we're hurting, we begin to heal. When we begin to admit that we care, then things begin to arise within us. The circumstances, the causes and conditions arise within us to make us stronger and give us solutions. And so today, let's celebrate the power that you and I have to acknowledge our fear, to use it as fuel for personal, emotional, and physiological and global transformation. Let's not be like the self-absorbed twat who pretends that everything is perfect in her world because she's incapable of giving a shit about the millions of people affected by this disease, or because they think that 55,000 people who died don't affect them. Let's not be like the duplicitous, self-styled corporate leader of a mental health movement who claims to be so committed to helping people heal while he publicly calls those dealing with legitimate fears and pain squirrely in an attempt to distract from his own failure to deliver on even the simplest of promises for the past 2 years. Let's not be like them. Instead, let's you and I connect, not disconnect. Let's allow social distancing to become the fertile soil for real collaboration, for real communication and healing to begin. Let's feel the fear, acknowledge it, and know that we don't have to do it alone, that you and I can choose to move through this pain, through this fear, knowing that even this horrible, deadly, and painful crisis, like all phenomena, will one day be over, and we'll emerge stronger, and we'll emerge clearer and better equipped to heal. I love and appreciate every one of you. I understand that these are difficult times, but know that you're not alone, and know that I'm here. If I can in any way support you or encourage you, if I can in any way provide you with resources to help make this easier on you, I'll do whatever I can. And please, by all means, if you think this will help somebody else, feel free to share that with them. Feel free to let them know that they're not alone. And take a little bit of time to check in on the people that you care about. Make sure that they're okay during this difficult time. Make sure that they know that they're not alone. And always remember, my friends, that if we stay in the moment, that's where the power is. And we bring gratitude and awareness to that moment, it opens the door for the abundance that's waiting for us. And that abundance isn't just a physical, material abundance. That abundance can be an abundance of emotional resources, an abundance of energy, an abundance of all of the things we need to be able to move through this and move through this effectively. And as I say at the end of every one of these broadcasts, always remember, the best is yet to come. Love you guys, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.